A spectacular performance. Curry from half court.
Sometimes, something looks like it's been there a while.
We are here, the 3 Points Podcast. We're coming right at you guys following the conclusion of the NBA Finals. It was not quite the classic finals that some people maybe hoped it would be, but the Knicks still bring home an absolutely historic victory for the city of New York. Jalen Brunson puts up an absolutely historic performance in the closeout Game 5, and the San Antonio Spurs, all things considered, go out pretty sad. Victor Wembanyama will have a moment to remember for the rest of his career and a moment to make up for the rest of his career. And without any further ado, I'll pass my man Wes, and he can start us off.
Yeah, I think to me, this series was even though it was only a 5 game series, this is as good or as close of a 5 game series as you can possibly conjure up. I mean, every single game went down to the wire. I'm pretty sure, right? There was
Basically, yeah.
blowout. Just a lot of. I mean, you can remember moments of the Spurs being up a lot, but of course, the Knicks usually came back and won all those games, which is just kind of yeah. I mean, there's so many historic things that just went on in this series. I mean, obviously, Game 5, Game 4, the Knicks having a historic comeback, but even in this game, Jalen Brunson put up a huge. They said it was the tied for the um, most points in a game on the road, closing out a series, which is hugely impressive. I mean, of course, he popped off in the fourth quarter to close it out to really kind of just gain control of the game. Obviously, it was close, but it just kind of felt like only one guy was really comfortable offensively, and that was Jalen Brunson. Even though, unfortunately, Cat kind of coming into this game, I guess I kind of thought it was like a three guy race between OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson, just based on the way the entire series had played out. Each of them had their moments. Obviously, Jalen Brunson pretty much all the time in the clutch is the reason behind that. But Cat had his moments, of course, dominating entire games. In the first 2 games, he was pretty incredible, the best player. But OG was, of course, consistent throughout, and throughout the playoffs, he's been consistent. But coming into this, after the end of this game, there was kind of no doubt that Jalen Brunson was going to take home that Finals MVP. So huge props to him. I mean, 45 points on what felt like decent efficiency. I mean, there was definitely more efficient than anybody else. So that's kind of the noticeable thing is he's the only guy that was able to score. There was a few one noticeable moment that people are probably gonna be talking about a lot and that's the what should have been a foul at all, and it should have been a flagrant foul in my opinion, and that's the Wembanyama closeout on Jalen Brunson. I don't really know how the refs missed that. Usually they're pretty good about getting those kinds of calls, but I guess they just let that one slip. There were a lot of calls that kind of for both teams that kind of I guess didn't go their way, but so in my opinion, I don't really think the officiating had a lot to do with the outcome. It was more just Jalen Brunson. Nobody could really stay in front of him, and I think it was really critical, in the clutch. Karl Anthony Towns, for as good as he's been in these entire playoffs, this game was kind of a clunker for him, and he was not able to close out for his team because he was in foul trouble for the entire second half, and he fouled out with 2 minutes left or something. So Brunson really just took the reins, and he emphasized getting out in transition and scoring. That's where 2 or 3 of his buckets.
Oh yeah,
just
absolutely.
Being the first guy up and down the floor, speeding it up immediately, and getting guys either out of position and gets the foul, or just using some crafty moves and getting a tough bucket against good defense. So I mean Brunson, yeah, I got to give props to him. Coming into the series or coming into this game, I don't think he had the most consistent good series, but throughout this entire game, he was just in control and by far the best player. So
Yeah, I mean, and I think, and you saw him really, especially in the second half of this game, he was getting to the basket probably with the most effectiveness that he's gotten to the basket this entire series. The first half was kind of very similar to what we've seen from him kind of in the previous games, where it's a lot of tough jumpers. And he did come out red hot, and he was hitting the jumpers. But then in the second half, I mean, when he started getting that Stephon Castle matchup, pulling him out to half court and then just blowing right by him, getting to the cup for those layups. I mean, he looked completely unstoppable. They just couldn't, they absolutely couldn't stay in front of him. And uh, I gotta be honest, like from a schematic perspective, I do wonder why they weren't sending two at him more frequently. I mean, that's just added to the list of things that Mitch Johnson could be asked questions about after this game. We were just going, we were talking about the quote that Mitch Johnson had prior to this game, where he said, direct quote, "People have their opinions. I don't care. De'Aaron Fox will have the ball in his hands at the end of the game tomorrow, and I have nothing but the utmost confidence that he's going to deliver like he's done countless times for us." Very eloquent statement from Mitch Johnson, and to his credit, it wasn't a lie. De'Aaron Fox did have the ball in his hands. I think Spurs fans just wish that he had been lying. I wish that it hadn't been that way, because De'Aaron Fox, yet again, you could make the argument. You could say that lost them a second game single-handedly in game five. Game four, I think, was probably worse. There were just so many individual plays in game four that you could point to, specifically on De'Aaron Fox, where you could say this specific play quite literally lost them the game. Uh, in this game, it was more so just another incredibly poor shooting performance, but we've seen that from him. Not exactly a surprise. The really bad turnovers, I don't think weren't there as much. The mental blunder, obviously, in game four, where he went up for that layup. There was no play that was that bad necessarily, but my God, I mean, when you see him pulling up from like 18 feet after breaking his man down off the dribble, he always makes it look good. I mean, if I was a Spurs fan, I would just have PTSD for the rest of my life
Yeah.
with some of those shot attempts. I mean, Mitch Johnson, I guess I would say, you do give him credit. This is a young team. He took them to the finals, but I don't understand why you have him on the court. And I don't understand why, if you are going to have him on the court, it's not sitting on the wing, waiting for a pass from Dylan Harper.
Or at least like we said last time, like diversify it a little bit. Like
Yeah,
have him run some possessions, but also have Castle or Harper or Wemby run some like
it's just
100% through De'Aaron
it's
Fox,
just
like it's like
difficult.
prime LeBron.
It's just difficult to justify. And I mean, he's the fact that he, gave that quote suggested it's something he was thinking about, something he was weighing in his mind, and yet he still chose to make this, the scheme. He, I just don't know. I can't really explain it.
Yeah.
It feels so elementary because it's something, on people on social media, like my dad, who, is a casual NBA fan. Everybody, I mean, you could ask, anybody who's been watching these games could tell you that this has been a failed experiment. So why continue to do it? What is it that Mitch Johnson's, the head coach of an NBA Finals team, a basketball genius, what one might think. What makes him so confident in De'Aaron Fox? It's difficult to come up with an answer. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say. But I mean, I don't want to just spend the entire episode ranting about that specific thing, but it's tough not to, because it does feel like it's going to. I mean, when people think about this series, 5 years from now, when memories have faded and people don't remember any specific plays, they
It's
couldn't
De'Aaron
really tell
Fox.
you how any specific game went. They're going to remember that De'Aaron Fox blew the fucking series for the Spurs. That's going to be the narrative. It's going to be Jalen Brunson was a demon. It's going to be, the Knicks got it done and the city of New York went crazy. It's going to be Wemby,
Well, that's when
like
New York just that
yeah,
was last
yeah, that was the last day of. I mean, we miss it, but they had to send in those strikes. Otherwise, I mean, we all know how it went down. I mean, things were going to get really bad. Um, but yeah, I mean, and
and we miss all those millions of people.
absolutely, and of course, they're also going to remember De'Aaron Fox shitting the bed. But yeah, I
Well, that
mean,
before anything else. I mean,
yeah,
but
that's where it all started.
yeah, it's really kind of crazy with the De'Aaron Fox thing because it's like, I mean, there's not like maybe a perfect. I mean, like Dylan Harper still had a pretty phenomenal game. Like, I mean, not even just like for rookie standards, like just for, I mean, De'Aaron Fox standards. Like, he was just 10 times the player De'Aaron Fox is, and I'll give De'Aaron Fox credit that he's not terrible negative defensively, but just Dylan Harper is just a much more positive player on both ends of the floor, and he makes good reads. He rebounds better. So I mean, I'm not really sure what you're getting with De'Aaron Fox. He doesn't really punish you in transition either the way that Jalen Brunson does. Like he's just phenomenal at navigating traffic and getting downhill. And I don't think those other Spurs guard are also not super good in transition. Like I don't want to present like the options outside of De'Aaron Fox are like like world beaters, but you do need to like diversify 100%. Like whether or not uh De'Aaron Fox has it going or not, you need to diversify. That's when your offense is at its best. That's when you get the offense swinging because they're scared of multiple guys. Now they're really just scared of De'Aaron Fox because that's we know Darren or Mitch Johnson told us, so we're just gonna kind of listen to what he says, and De'Aaron Fox had the ball in his hands the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess for me to talk a little bit more specifically about this game, like I thought the Spurs they came out incredibly. They came out with so much energy. They came out with so much tenacity. It was clear that they had convinced themselves this was not ending, here today. And they came out ready to execute that. And it just over the course of the game, it seemed to dissipate. I mean, the on-ball defense to start was so intense. They had Brunson. I mean, Brunson did by the second quarter, he had already gotten it going, but first quarter he looked very shook. Cat looked shook. Cat, I mean, all game to be honest. Cat,
Yeah, this is
this
Cat's
is probably his
worst
worst game of
game.
the series.
Yeah.
And shout out Draymond. I mentioned it last episode, but he did point out once they started jumping out at him and putting a lot more on-ball pressure and not letting him get the run up to those long strides, that Euro step, he did look like he was just a completely different player. He just didn't have the same repertoire to go to.
Yeah.
But you just saw them throughout the course of the game. The Spurs, they just shrunk. They just kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Or what? He just raised his hand. And you have something you want to say?
No.
Most
No.
passive aggressive gesture of all time. Sorry, I guess I'm talking a little bit too much. Yeah, but I mean they just wilted like like a dead flower. It was very sad to watch. Wembanyama, bad game, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to kind of every time you mention his name, you have to say the caveat. Well, obviously he had so much on defense, and we did see it at points this game, but the reality is I think he also had a pretty poor game defensively by his standards. You mentioned earlier he
Against
got
Cat, he was
yeah.
good, but yeah, kind of outside of that,
Yes, multiple guys. I mean, not just Brunson. I mean, a few of their other guards beat him off the dribble as well and got layups, up to the cup over him, which is not something that's supposed to happen.
yeah.
To Victor Wembanyama. And then offensively, again, he was frozen out.
Yeah.
And now, this could be something we look back on in a few years and say, my God, how much of a moron was Mitch Johnson that scheme that they were running had Victor Wembanyama looking that bad? Because there does seem to be a lack of desire on the part of the Spurs ball handlers. I know, again, cough, De'Aaron Fox, right? To feed him the ball.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he's not exactly been the most over the course of this series. At least he wasn't the most assertive when it came
Yeah, he's
to
not aggressive.
demanding the ball, when it came to attacking when he did have the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
He never got hot from beyond the arc, which again I think is for any player, but especially somebody like him who is I mean the most dangerous guy probably in the league attacking a closeout. That can really open his game up, but he never opened it up like that because he never got hot. Yeah, I mean, he is going to have an entire career to answer for this performance, right? But
Yeah.
it's going to be something, LeBron's 2007 moment, right? You had
2011 too.
2011, you had Shaquille O'Neal in 1994, although I couldn't tell you off the top of my head whether he played well or played poorly, but obviously there was still that narrative, he got there, let the city of Orlando down and then didn't get back for a while.
I mean, every team, every great player, I think, has their like tragic Johnson missing the free throws and
true
bad turnovers. So
yeah,
except MJ, I guess he was just.
I mean, well, no, I mean MJ.
I mean,
MJ had the Jordan Rules series against the
he's
back to back.
Pretty still cooked them.
Yeah, it's true.
Went out averaging like 35, whatever.
But this is going to be one of those that people talk about,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then trying to draw on the list. I mean, again, credit to every single player on the New York Knicks, except maybe Mikal Bridges, because I think they could have replaced him with like Anthony Lamb, and they probably still would have won this series.
He played really good in the second round conference finals, and I feel like he probably had like a good game or two in the finals. I mean, not great.
Did he really? I mean, I don't think he would have had a single game over like 15 points in the finals.
Yeah, I would look surprised. But I mean, he wasn't. At the same time, I guess they just didn't involve him that much. So
it's true.
It's kind of.
And and there's only
he had like one 20-point game.
Yeah, there can only be so many chefs in the kitchen, right? So it is to some degree just the fact that OG has been so incredible.
Yeah.
So you need to get him touches, and then obviously Jalen and Cat are both going to be high usage no matter what. But like I mean again, not to obviously they just won the finals. I don't want to shit on Mikal Bridges for no reason, but it's like he was one of the guys who probably didn't jump off the page, but everybody else at least had one or two games where it's like, oh my God, this is a finals caliber player. Like this is why they're a contender.
Yeah.
This is why they're in the finals. Like Josh Hart, I mean, did he have a single game under 10 rebounds? Maybe. I mean, this guy is 6'4". I mean, one of the most unusual guys in the league, but man, I mean, you can just see you if you watch the games. I mean, I think I've said this on a few episodes now. I mean, there's all these little possessions where Josh Hart does something. It's a tip, it's an offensive board, it's a box out, does something to give an advantage to the New York Knicks. There's a reason why he's on a team that just won the finals in 5 games, and nothing about his box score is ever going to capture the impact that he brings. And you already kind of talked about Cat, up and down, but again, his performances in game 1 and 2 alone, he's certified.
I put him in the
He
finals
deserves
MVP.
it, absolutely, yeah. OG obviously, some series he would have won Finals MVP with the way that he played. He's somebody that I mean, I want to say he's what 26, 27, maybe a little older than that.
2019, so he's
28.
28.
I mean, that contract. I don't know when his contract is up now, but man, I mean, is he a max player in this league? Do we?
I mean, I was like an interesting question is like
He's already getting 5 years. He's already getting paid 42 million a year. Okay, I didn't even. So he's basically already a max player in this league. But is he
Yeah.
a max player in this league? That's going to be the conversation, I
Yeah.
think.
And do you think he's the best non-all-star?
I
Does he think of like Aaron Gordon?
mean, he was basically the second best player in the finals on a finals winning team. I mean,
Yeah.
he rose to the occasion. Every opportunity he had to rise to the occasion, he took full advantage of it.
And he's like one of the best wing defenders.
Yeah,
He does it all for him.
two-way
Yeah. I mean,
superstar.
on the championship team, obviously you need the superstar offensive players that can play
Yeah.
that offensive floor, but you need those connective guys that can do a lot of things that are really high level. So that's kind of what OG and Josh Hart do.
He probably averaged damn near like 20 this series too.
Yeah,
So
like he had 36 in the
Yeah.
last game. So yeah, he was really kind of, I feel like their secret sauce if you had to put it on one guy. Like obviously two guys come to mind, Cat and Brunson, but OG really just does so much things for you. I think this team it's a great offensive team, but I think their defense gets kind of underrated just because they're not elite. They're not the San Antonio Spurs. They're not the OKC Thunder, but they are a pretty decent team. That's because they have one of if not the best wing defenders on the planet who can step out and guard anybody. So
I was just thinking, wait, this team is insanely similar to the 2022 Warriors. You have Jalen
Wiggins,
Brunson in the
yeah,
Steph role.
Wiggins.
You have Wiggins you have Hart in the Draymond role,
I really have a
and then
Cat.
yeah, okay, no Cat, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you have kind of Clay in the Mikal Bridges role, but
Yeah.
like Cat does kind of break the unfortunately.
Poole is kind of like a
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I mean,
Brad, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I mean, yeah. Also, Deuce McBride kind of had if we're gonna crap on Brunson or Bridges a little bit, I think Deuce McBride had a terrible series.
I think he's expendable to be honest. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're debating between bringing him and Shamit back, you probably pick Shamit.
Yeah.
If it's between him and Alvarado, you probably pick Alvarado. If it's between him and Robinson, obviously you pick Robinson. But he'll find a home somewhere for at least a few more seasons. I
He's
think.
still a good NBA
Yeah.
player. Just like I think he had a bad series, and I do think he has his value as like a backup point guard. He's a decent defender, but just in this series, just wasn't giving you too much. We kind of talked about the Spurs a little bit. I think we should also say that Castle had a pretty bad game 5 as well.
I mean, yeah.
It's tough because he's also so young. Like I think with all these Spurs players, like even Wemby, he's only in his 3rd season.
Yeah.
Fox, there's not really that excuse.
Yeah, no Fox.
So
Jesus Christ, man.
no excuse for him. But the other guys, you can always just say like, yeah, they're just young, so they'll be back for many more years. There'll be many more playoff series for them to grind their teeth and get much better.
I mean, he's gonna be Fox is gonna be the point of comparison when somebody has a bad series for the next decade. People are gonna be saying, was it as bad as De'Aaron Fox in the 2026 NBA Finals?
LeBron 2011 is the classic.
LeBron, I mean, that is the standard. That is the standard for a big name player disappearing in a playoff series. Let's not final series specifically. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But I guess just like to kind of like transition to one more like topic. The Spurs going forward, they do now have questions. Every team that loses in the playoffs has questions.
Yeah.
Even one as young as this. I think obviously like doesn't take a genius to say that you're
You
trading
need to
Fox
keep De'Aaron
somewhere.
Fox.
I mean, Miss Johnson.
You
I
need
mean,
to
he's
put
saying either keep Fox or I'm gone too.
I mean, you got to stick up for your guys. Like,
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like that trading Fox somewhere. I mean, probably to some kind of rebuilding team. Maybe you have to attach a pick.
but what do you want in return for that?
You're probably looking for maybe a slightly lower usage role playing type guard, maybe another wing because Carter Bryant. Like you'll see, like Carter Bryant's very young, but it's not like he flashed so much that you know that he's going to be a part of your future going forward. And
Yeah.
and obviously Vassell is a little bit older than the rest of your core, and he's on a big contract, so he's somebody who you don't know if he'll be around forever. And you kind of already have two, so maybe a wing is kind of where I'm
Yeah.
thinking, where I'm
Or
landing.
even like a point guard. I mean, I do like somebody in
But
Fox's role. Yeah.
Harper's going to be handling the ball like the next
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, a good wing would probably be good. And then,
Yeah,
because then you do have your backcourt like
absolutely.
Castle and Harper.
And
It's
then
damn near the
and
best.
then I think and then the other question is like Mitch Johnson.
I think you keep him around. I mean, like,
The fans are going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of fans calling for his head because of the Fox thing. But I would agree. I mean, you have to give him another year.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
I mean, Spo coached in 2011. He coached a
Yeah,
bad series. You kept him.
yeah.
Uh,
LeBron wanted to fire him. Remember?
I wonder what Wemby thinks about Mitch Johnson.
Yeah,
They should ask him that. Like, what do you think?
yeah.
Think Ball should go to E1? Like, nah. I actually know
That's the kind of question
I
I'd ask
I
if I was a
agree.
reporter.
I agree with him. We did more possessions in De'Aaron Fox's hand. Also, like something I was kind of just thinking about this whole time or this entire game is that I kind of feel like the after last game after the Knicks came back 29 from down 29, it just kind of felt like
Yeah,
they just had the Spurs in the palm of their hand this game. Like no matter how much they were up by, because they were up by a decent amount
I
early on.
swear. I mean, the Spurs. They really came out. They didn't look at first. They didn't look
They
shaken.
didn't, but they
They
didn't.
looked confident. They
They didn't
looked
last game either.
aggressive. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it was just like a mental like, man, we know they can come back. We know Brunson can just fry the
yeah.
best of us. I mean, it is kind of crazy that he's. I mean, I would pick Castle as like probably the best Brunson defender, if not one of the best. I mean, there's pick anybody on OKC, but he's up there for one of the best Brunson defenders in the league, and still Brunson was able to fry him down the stretch.
Yeah, I
It's kind
mean,
of crazy.
you know what I mean, you know what the Spurs might need is like they might need like an actual shot maker, like at the wing.
Shot
They might
maker.
need like a shot maker, like a little, like maybe semi a chucker type archetype. Because you really need somebody who's like, because obviously Fox was filling the role,
That's that's what I.
but
That's
you
why.
can't keep him around,
Yeah, because Harper is also coming.
obviously. And Jesus Christ, but you need somebody who can fill that role maybe a little bit better because a lot of these other like Wemby, I don't like. Is he really going to be somebody who you're saying okay, like just shoot over whoever,
Yeah,
just go get us a bucket, Wemby? I mean, obviously Harper is somebody who can create a lot of offense, but he's not necessarily that type of shot maker in the same way that somebody like Fox at his best is. But you don't know. I mean, he's 20. Obviously, he has a long, long way to go in terms of
yeah,
development. Yeah, I mean, nobody's really jumping to mind
yeah, yeah.
who would be available. He's maybe more like,
I mean, what do you think about Aaron Gordon? Like, do you want like a great like a Kawhi Leonard, like great shot maker, or just like
obviously, if
a
you
guy
added
that?
Kawhi Leonard to this team, that would be. I mean, that would be fun. I mean, actually, you think.
But do you,
Wait a second. So Steph Castle plus De'Aaron Fox.
do you think do you think they need that level, that caliber of player, or could like an Aaron Gordon
What
level?
is four first? Would 4 first round picks, Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox, get you Kawhi Leonard?
You would go Steph Castle.
Yeah, what the for Kawhi Leonard for 2 years of Kawhi Leonard with alongside Dylan Harper
Dude,
and this.
the Wemby window is not the next 2 years; it's the next 10
But
to 15.
yeah, okay. And then when Kawhi, kind of ages out, you build again around with it because Wemby will still only be 24. I do that in a heartbeat. But I mean, obviously Kawhi maybe is an unrealistic example, but like I do think like
I mean, Aaron Gordon, do you think
I don't know, man. I mean, is
that's
he
not?
really that archetype?
He's kind of like an OG, like yeah. I mean, I guess OG's shot creation is not great. I'm trying to
I
think
mean,
of other good examples across the league. LeBron.
I
LeBron
mean,
on the Spurs would be so nice.
he would fit.
He
I
would
mean,
fit, yeah.
that's obviously one of his strengths as a player. He fits alongside any team,
Any group offensively. And
any
then
group. Yeah, he
defensively,
can.
it's
Yeah.
like, okay, Wemby, you're the best defender. So,
You know
not,
who I'm thinking? You know who I'm thinking of? Paul George.
eh,
If you could get Paul George for without a first round pick, what if you could I mean, what if the 76ers are so desperate to get off that contract that they'll take the De'Aaron Fox contract, which I think is roughly similar, and like a second round pick. Man, I'd do that.
Yeah, because they're kind of both like they have a reputation, but they kind of have both tarnished it as of
Yeah.
late. So yeah, they're kind of same caliber of player. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll see what happens with that, but
Yeah,
I mean, something's gonna happen. They're gonna do something in the offseason now. You know it's coming.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Paul George is like also not that old or too old, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's interesting. But yeah,
I
they
mean,
do have to
yeah.
pick things up for sure. Trying to think of other things to think about. I want to think about like the historic kind of nature of this. I feel like it is just so crazy that the championship is back in New York. You see,
I mean, as we speak, I know crazy things are happening in New York. We're far removed.
how many?
We're on the other side of the country, not to dox us too heavily, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you see the Knicks as like who's your contender next season? Like number one contender. I mean, obviously there will be moves. I mean, Spurs themselves will make moves, but
I
do
mean,
you see
it
the
has
Knicks
to be the Spurs, realistically.
as
Like you don't know what they're going to do in the offseason, but I mean, everybody's a year older. Again, you're assuming that the bad man is gone. That De'Aaron Fox is off the team. I mean, again, Dylan Harper, like second year Dylan Harper. I mean, we saw what Luka and Trey Young did in their second years, like that similar kind of like ball dominant point guard. I mean, both those guys they flashed a ton in their rookie. Neither of them got a chance at a playoff run, obviously.
and then Luka in his second year
I
really
mean,
dropped.
Lucas is mostly something I had to give a shout to Trey Young. He's my guy, but yeah, I mean, like that Lucas second year jump, like if you could see something similar to that out of Dylan Harper, I don't see how they're not the favorites. Obviously, and then
I
you
think
just
OKC
and then
is
from there you're just going like the usual suspects like OKC, the Knicks will be trying hard to defend that. I mean, again, in the kind of the age that we're in, the era of parity hasn't happened for I think 7 years at this point.
yeah, I don't
The
see
Knicks don't seem like the team to make it happen, but
yeah.
they kind of have been also the team that has defied expectations now this entire season, this entire
It's
playoff run.
so
So
crazy. Kaminga won the most games against this team
yeah,
compared to
CJ McCollum. And
CJ
CJ
McCollum.
McCollum put this team away. There was 2 games he put them away down the stretch.
Wemby,
That's
he did
that's
what
kind of
Wemby couldn't.
legendary. Yeah.
He did what De'Aaron Fox couldn't.
Yeah.
Or maybe CJ McCollum over De'Aaron Fox. You think that gets the job done? You think that gets the job done for the
He's
Spurs?
that's an interesting thought.
I mean, he did it.
I probably
Proof of concept. He did it.
I probably wouldn't do that if I was the Spurs. Like I don't think that's what you really want, but I mean if you could get him for
It's like
nothing
hypothetically.
for no picks involved, just a straight swap, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just obviously, like this is people are going to remember this one because it's the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, and
They've
it
been
was
starved.
they were entertaining games. Like this was a great series, and I think off the top of my head, I want to say the ratings have been about as good as they've been for any final series in the
Probably
last
the
decade
best.
or so.
It's probably the best final. I mean, outside of 2016 is like an
Yeah,
objective fan. I think it's
yeah,
probably
absolutely,
one of the best final series
absolutely.
ever because
I mean,
not because of the stakes really. I mean, like it's not really
yeah,
dynasties.
these big market teams they just make for it's just
Yeah,
slightly more compelling. Something about them.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, what an incredible,
yeah,
what an
props to the
incredible
Knicks.
moment for the NBA. Shout out to the Knicks. Um, I love basketball. It was another great season. Off season's coming up for drafters like myself. The season's not over because we
When
get
is the
the.
draft?
It's in about I want to say a week and a half. It's on like the
Okay.
22nd, 23rd.
Probably do an episode.
Yeah,
after that.
absolutely. And then NBA offseason always manages to be fun somehow. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's a wrap for the 2026 NBA season.
Catch you guys next time.